Welcome in, watchers and listeners, to Sport Talk with Dwat. I'm Dwat, and I got Casper on the show. If you would please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. With that being said, let's get this show on the road.
All right, we are back for episode 63 of Sport Talk with Dwat. I am Dwat. I'm here with Casper. As we're going to talk about some baseball. We'll talk about the NFL, some NASCAR, and much more. He's back on the show. Bring him on, man. What's going on, Casper?
What up, big dog? Just up here enjoying a wonderful Monday in Las Vegas, Tennessee. Looking forward to a good week.
Oh yeah, it's a nice Monday evening. We got a big show planned here on Sport Talk, so we'll start with the weekend. So, how was your weekend, Casper?
Yeah, it was pretty good. We did a lot of baby prep around this house, buddy. A lot of cleaning, a little putting stuff together. Did a marketplace pickup. Went to the dump. It was a lot of work this weekend. I'll be honest with you, but getting there on that. So we'll see. We got maybe 2 weeks left, so we'll see. Hopefully we can get it done. But we're good enough now. It is what it is. And then hung out Sunday. Went for a little drive in my car over here, and after it rained, it was nice and cold up here. I was like, I'm gonna roll the windows down in this thing, and this is our backup vehicle and back windows that decided that they were not going to go up. So that's been a lot of fun. So studio's a little bit crowded. I got a car in here, and there's not really room for a car in here because my garage has countertops in it. So it's touching the counter and pretty much the garage door as well. So it's there's a lot going on in here right now, but it was a good weekend, man.
Oh yeah, mine was pretty good. It would let's see, I did some yard selling there on Saturday morning with my wife. We went up to Pikeville. I went up to Pikeville and Dunlap area, and I got a couple of things. So I'll jump into the world's longest yard sale haul. So I got me a Arizona Cardinals. It actually has a Phoenix Cardinals. It's a Phoenix Cardinals button. A little something I put in the case upstairs. A St. Louis Cardinals button. So that was a pretty cool find there. So both those were $1. And then while I was out and about, I got some top water fishing lures. That's pretty nice. Which those are going to be really good to use there. And I got one that's like brighter colors. Those were on sale, and then a good deal. And then I got me a Tennessee Titan up car flag. Yeah. I put it out in the garage. Probably not really on my car, but
you better put it on your car. Don't be a chicken, big dog. Put it on your car. Own it. Good, start losing.
It's a good game day thing. I guess you put it on the car on the way to the game. So I got that for free. That was from Bill. So thank you, Bill, for the free car flag. That was really cool to see there. I got me some fishing poles. Some fishing poles there. I got one. I got two for $8. 2 for $8.
Ooh.
And then my other one there, nice, same brand, same deal. And then since I bought fishing poles, and I need some reels, so I went down to the academy, got me some fishing reels. I got one, and I got two. Now I got my poles and my reels, so now I'm ready to go there. I guess that's really about all I bought there. It was all at a good price, and I really it's kind of fun to go up there, and if it's kind of priced what it is, you kind of work with them a little bit. I'm not the best at it, but I feel like I'm getting better at it. Dad's really good at it. So Dad, if you're tuning to the show, you're really good at negotiating, and I'm getting a little bit better at it as I get older. Maybe I get better, but it's all fun. It's all fun to see what they'll take and not take. So that was Saturday. That was a busy day. Saturday, went to the Lookouts game Saturday night, Erlanger Park here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, with all my friends from work. We all gathered up there, went to the game. It rained. It rained all around there, Casper. It was a rainy evening, but luckily it stayed down away, and it all stayed away, and we were able to enjoy the game at a buffet style food with the hamburgers and the hot dogs. So I got plenty of food there, and I just kind of socialized with all my friends I see during the week. So that was pretty cool. Kind of a different spot there. We kind of sat out more in the outfield area, which is a little farther away. I like to sit behind the dugouts. That's just kind of my own preference. I enjoy sitting behind the dugouts, kind of keep up with the game, going to hear it better and see it better. So it's just kind of how I do things. And then so that was Saturday, and then Sunday I cut some grass there Sunday morning, but first I went fishing and in the kayak. A couple little bites, but didn't quite get didn't quite catch anything, but didn't have a lot of time on this one really, Casper. I was going pretty quick with it. I had about 2 hours because I had a busy day. So I got home from fishing and had to mow some grass. I got rained out Thursday and Friday from the mowing, and I was busy Saturday, so I had to mow 2 yards there from Molly. If you tune into the show, Molly, you got the yard looking good there for you. And then I got done for Connie there as well, and then had to help my mom break down her yard sale at their booth down there on the south side. So I had that busy. It was a hot weekend for them as they were out there throughout the weekend doing some sales, which is good. But had to help them, and it was just a tough weekend with all that, with the weather, with the pop up storms and whatnot. Which it rained a little bit on a Saturday there towards the end, but that was all. It was a pretty. It was a good weekend. Got some goodies, and I always enjoy that yard sale. It's a lot of fun. That's some things you see there that you don't always see at other antique stores and whatnot, and you can kind of get a pretty good price on it. It's fun to see what all everybody offers and kind of what all they sell. So it's always for me, it's probably the top weekend of the year when it comes to buying some stuff, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, I got a question about this yard sale thing. So I'm a big I'm a Facebook marketplace addict. Like I scroll marketplace. I don't scroll Instagram. I don't scroll TikTok. I don't have X on my phone anymore. Like I scroll marketplace. So everything on marketplace is overpriced now because people think they're getting smart and they're trying to get like 80% of what they paid for something, even though it's like, dude, it's 3 years old. Like I'll just go buy a new one and pay the extra, $30 or whatever. So I'm curious, has the yard sale pricing gotten like out of hand on stuff, or do you feel like it's the same, or just kind of hit or miss, or what's the deal on that?
Yeah, it's definitely gotten higher. I think I thought this year the prices were higher. Just from the even small things I like to collect. A seat cushion, I saw pretty cool seat cushion, and it was $10. When I'm more of like a $5 or less for that. IndyCar, it was a vintage IndyCar seat cushion, but even at 10, it's gonna be hard to get it down to 5 and really get it down to 2 or 3. But yeah, I think this year prices were higher, and people start high on purpose probably, and then expect for you to kind of come down with it a little bit. But I feel like you can probably get you a good deal on Facebook Marketplace these days, maybe. It depends what they're selling and whatnot. But I feel like this year for sure prices were higher. But the things I bought were, I think I may have spent maybe $16 or so total. You just got to go up there with cash is preferred, but these days they do take the Venmos and whatnot. But I like to just take my cash and kind of see what they got. And each year I go up there, there's always some things that look cool in the moment, but then like I'm glad I didn't get them because you get home like, oh, this is cool, but where exactly am I going to put it? It's things are cool in the moment, but when you get there, I'll get home. That's cool. But I did learn it's good to have a truck. It's good to have 4-wheel drive because this year was pretty muddy. I didn't get stuck or anything, but I had to keep a close eye on where I park at because it was definitely it was a mud hole, I guess I could just call it. And you get people that are going down the road and they kind of want to stop in the middle of the road and kind of see what they have, look at what they have and stuff. So you get a lot of that. But I thought also this year's traffic was busier. I thought for the traffic around the areas were definitely busier, which is good to see people get out there and doing it's always good to see people going out there shopping and selling. It's always just like it's a good fun day for me.
Yeah, I really want to go to that one time. I'm gonna try to buy a bunch of tools or something. I don't know. I've been looking for a toolbox. I want another toolbox. This one's full, so I need some room. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go someday. I have to go with you though, so you can show me the ways.
Oh yeah. Gotta find all the right spots and all that good stuff. You kind of know. You just gotta have to know where to go and whatnot. And then once you know where to go, then you just cover that field and you look around and you find your full box you want. You make them a deal and you take it home with you. That's always the hope is go out there and find something. That's kind of what you want to do.
I like it.
All right. So we will shift into some news of the week. We'll start with this Braves. So yeah, Chris Sale ejected from the a day before. He had a balk called on him there, Casper, and so he got the balk called. Then he wanted to argue that day of, and they got the coach. So there's a lot of people arguing over the situation. So was a balk, you think, there, Casper?
I mean, I'll be honest. I had to do like research because I really didn't understand what was going on, and I straight up, I did not watch last weekend. I was really busy with stuff, but I always had the game on like in the background while we were working around the house. But on Saturday, like I guess he didn't. declare that he was going to pitch from the windup. And, they have one guy on third base, had an out. It was like tie game 2-2. And I don't know. I mean, it was wonky. I've never seen it for sure. I don't know that I've ever seen a balk for not declaring that you're throwing from the windup. So, like, I had to go and look it up. And I guess it's a balk, but it's strange. And, Walt got tossed. He got up there in front of Sale because he was like, I need you to pitch here, big dog. Like, calm down a little bit. But, you know, so Walt got in there, got ejected, and all that. And he said in his post game press conference, he's like, he's done this for 16 years, and we've never been declared nothing. So I don't know what we're talking about, but something about because he's listed as a hybrid pitcher. I don't know. I'm gonna call my dad tonight and see if I can get the full lowdown because he listens to the radio of the game, so I can get the full breakdown. They'll have all that on there, but yeah, then Sale comes out there on the field Sunday and is like ready to fight. I guess still, I guess he didn't sleep Saturday at all. He was still mad, and I don't know. To me, it's a strange time, and like I said, it was a good tie ball game. Two good teams. Like I don't know, it's weird, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. So be sure you tell them how you're throwing the pitch every time the batter comes to plate. I guess if you're him going forwards, but strange deal to get ejected before the game, before a single pitch is thrown. Like I guess that was just where he didn't get to get his in on Saturday, so he decided to go ahead and get it in Sunday. I was like in the car. We were taking my mother-in-law home because she came up here and we had to drive her. But I was taking her home and it came across my phone. I was like, what the heck? It's like Chris Sale ejected before first pitch. I'm like, oh, God. But glad it didn't get too much uglier than that. But I don't know. It was a weird thing. Hated to see him lose that game Saturday. And that was the thing that I really don't like about it is that was the turning point of the game, right? Like that was they ended up getting that run and we just never really got back. So that was unfortunate. But, yeah, strange for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a very slight a twitch, or it was it was just a very slight movement on his end, maybe, but I don't know if it was really enough for a balk. And then that next pitch, so he was wanting to make sure that he clarified.
Yeah,
he's kind of being a smart aleck with how it was clarified, but that's what you got to do to make sure we're all on the same page. And then I guess communicate out loud and let him know that, hey, this is what I'm doing. So when I saw that part, I was like, well, I mean, it's whatever, but it's pretty unique. And I've never seen somebody get tossed that next day. Yeah, he probably didn't sleep a lick, like you said. He was up all night probably thinking about that and how I'm going to tell him the next day. And he let him know about it, and then he quickly got to go back to the locker room. So I get it. That's a tough deal. I definitely never seen anything like it either. And we'll have to take the loss like we did, and we moved on to Sunday and got the win there. So, pretty odd deal there. All right, that will put us into some NFL challenge changes there, Casper. So one coach can change the challenge, from my understanding. So how does that take place there, Casper?
Yeah, so currently the head coach has the challenge flag, is the only person allowed to throw it. Well, apparently they're changing it effective today. For the 2026-27 season here, where you're going to be able to designate somebody on the sideline that will also be allowed to challenge. You have to designate them before the game. I'm assuming they will also get a challenge flag. What I was looking at did not specify that, but I'm assuming you're getting 2 challenge flags. So this is essentially sounds to me like you're going to have a challenge coach on the sideline, which is interesting. And I would assume that this individual's job is going to be to stare at an iPad screen immediately after every play. And, it'll be interesting because there's sometimes when challenges are made in football in particular where they don't really have a good view of it. Like baseball, they do the whole hold up, and then the guy's on the phone with somebody in the booth looking at the video. It's kind of football's version of that, but they're going to have them on the field, I guess. And, it's different. And then, like, there's a lot of emotional challenges in football. Like in baseball, sometimes you got guys that, you see these ABS challenges in particular where they don't really know. They're just mad, so they burn a challenge. And I think that happens in football sometimes too, but they said it, what I was reading in that article said 25 was the most challenges in the NFL since like 2019. Numbers climbing. I'm just curious to see what having 2 people looking at this does. So I would assume this is essentially an analytical coach type position, and they're going to look at the game situation. They're going to look at the video. Is this worth it? Is it not? Kind of deal. And I'm curious if it's for more or less. I could kind of see it. It seems like there would be more if you have one person who that's their whole job is to watch every play and every spot and all this stuff. And I'm just kind of curious. I think one thing that's interesting is, does this turn into a lot of challenging the spot of the ball? And, does it slow the game down? You know what I mean? If they end up doing that, it's like, nope, they missed the 6 inches on a lot of plays. And so I guess I'm just kind of curious how it goes. I do like the idea, though, let it be somebody other than the head coach. And, things are moving forward. We got all this video and stuff on sidelines now. Same thing like baseball with the coaches up in the box watching the video. So I do like it that they kind of are getting a view of it. I think it'll help with those ones where like me and you're sitting on the couch like screaming challenge it, and they don't. But then also like, is that same person going to be telling the other team like, hey, get up there and snap the ball? Like, if you're on defense. I'm just kind of curious how it goes. I like the change in my head. I like the concept, but I'm curious to see how it plays out. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, same for me there, Casper. I hope the games don't get, because they're already from like, 1 o'clock to 4:15 for that, for that first time window slot. So yeah. I'd be curious if they challenge these, it's definitely going to slow them down. And as a fan, I want to keep these games moving. If they're going, and hopefully that, they only get so many challenges, and hopefully that one person can not nitpick every single play, and just if it's close, then let's get the call right. Which I definitely want as a fan. I want to see the calls be correct, and so the biggest thing for that is I hope the game speed doesn't change, and let's get these calls correct. And I like it just being that one part. That's good. I think that's that coach's one job is to watch that iPad and watch the game and make the call. And if he gets a flag, throw it out there, and let's get the call right. So that's kind of where I stand on that. Is just get these calls right, and let's keep the game moving.
Not to mention that the head coaches might be chewing their butt when they lose one, so that'll be good to watch too. That's always makes good TV.
Oh yeah,
somebody makes a mistake in a football game. So
I love a good sideline chewing. As always, you don't want to be that guy. And that's what the guy's getting paid to do is challenge, and you better get them right. And so we'll see how that shakes out. All right, NFL, Cade Mays injured and will miss some time with a wrist injury. So what's all that about, Casper?
Oh yeah, old Knoxville boy. He went to Georgia, went to Tennessee, got drafted by the Panthers. He's with the Lions now. He got injured. Isaiah Pacheco also injured. Cade Mays is going to miss a good amount of time as the center there. And Pacheco, he's one of those guys that, like, back when I used to play fantasy all the time, he's a sneaky little back to get. He's getting a little older now, but him being out there hurt, for all you fantasy guys might want to check that one out and see. Make sure you're not picking him up. But, I don't know. We'll see. Wasn't there something else, Lions, we were supposed to talk about? You want to do that now? What was
the Lions. The Lions picked up Josh Dobbs.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So former quarterback there from Tennessee, Josh Dobbs, is going to be probably the backup.
Astro Dobbs, the astrophysicist, rocket engineer. Literally. Yeah, that one.
So he's been getting on different teams. I saw something where he's been on all these different teams throughout his NFL career. So Josh Dobbs is going to be the backup there in Detroit. So that's some pretty cool news there. We want to pass along to the show. Anything else you got for news of the week, Casper?
Oh, let's see. The one thing I want to talk about, Cam Coleman. This has been on the highlights everywhere. Cam Coleman at Texas out here. He posting pictures, making one-handed grabs and all this stuff. And it's a pretty decent play. He absolutely just went up there and grabbed the ball. He had to have glue on his glove. But I guess my biggest question in that is, who was throwing the pass that was just like, 5 yards too high and 5 yards too far from where it needed to be for him to have to go make that catch. And it reminded me a little bit of Calvin Johnson, having to always look like he was making great catches back at Georgia Tech because the quarterbacks were terrible. And it was just one of those. And I'm, Arch better make some better throws than that. I mean, you want to be hitting these guys in stride. So hopefully he'll do better than that. But just reminder, the fake UT that hey, they do got a game coming up. So I hope we got their number. I hope you're right, Dwat. I don't feel good about it, but I hope you're right. So Arch not looking too hot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's won't be long. We're getting that time to go. Time for some football. All right, we will jump us into some MLB standing tall, little mid-year review on some of what these teams are doing so far. So we'll start with the East for the National League. So the Braves are 71-47, and they got an 8.5 game lead over the Phillies. So just that, as a Braves fan, that's that number that I like, and I feel like we're going to keep that lead there, Casper. I think it's going to stay steady about the 8, in between the 6 to 8 is kind of what I'm wanting to see throughout the next few months here in the summertime. And so that's kind of what I was wanting to pass along to the show. There is kind of where they're at, and it's something that we're going to keep a close eye on there, Casper. So hopefully, as a Braves fan, we can see all that keep staying that way on that.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's see here. So that's some of that. We'll kind of come back to some things we're going to think on there for the playoffs. We'll kind of hit that at the very end. The Central there with the Brewers, the team I wanted to kind of talk about on here there for Dan. They're 74-44. They got 5.5 over the Cubs. The Cubs are a team that could kind of sneak up on them. I feel like they're a team that could definitely be one to watch. And so the Central could get tight there, but the Brewers, they might be able to keep that lead, and they're a great team up there in Milwaukee. So we'll have to kind of see how that one goes on that. And then the West will go with the Dodgers, 17-48. They got a great record, and they of 7.5 over the D-backs. So the D-backs are a team that's been down in the past, but they're kind of back now, and so hopefully they can kind of get things going there. And 7.5 is pretty. If I was a fan of the Dodgers, I'd be feeling pretty good about 7.5 games there on that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, the bad news for the Dodgers is they're 2-8 in their last 10 games. Mm-hmm. So like they ain't looked hot, but we'll see what happens. I think Will Smith's coming back. They got a couple other injuries that I think are on the way back too. So curious to see how that changes things for them as we get closer. But yeah, they're on a little bit of a downward slide. They come to Atlanta next week, I believe. So they're not too far away from us. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. The Brewers, you're talking about them. They're really good. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if we mentioned on the show last week. I don't think so, but we're playing the Brewers in that Little League World Classic game or whatever they're going to do. So we'll see if we can get, the Miz versus Sale or something out there for that game. That'll be pretty cool. I believe that's next Sunday. I think. Don't quote me on that, but that'd be pretty cool for that game. And, we'll see what happens. That series, I'm looking forward to that one. Probably gonna see them again at some point. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully we can get that done. But yeah.
And for the AL, now this side of it is a pretty tight mess here. It's you got some teams that are just, I think that all very close to the same. So the White Sox are a team that's been down for many years, and to see them leading there by 3.5 over the Tigers, that's pretty cool. Just as a baseball fan, to see that name, to see the White Sox up there leading. Now, can they keep it to be the big? That would be the big storyline for me. Is can the White Sox maintain that and win? Can they win it? Can they get the Central locked in? That'd be pretty sweet to see there, Casper.
Yeah, I mean, AL is just not doesn't seem to be where it's at this year, for sure. But yeah, I mean, the White Sox being good, it's good. The White Sox have been the joke of Chicago for, I feel like, our whole life, pretty much. So I like to see them up there. We'll see what they can do. And I like to see some good close races. There's not a whole lot going on in the NL. So maybe we can get a little battle in that one. And we'll see what happens, because the Tigers are 3.5 back, and the Twins and Guardians are also both 4 back. So, like, it's pretty tight race there for that one. So, honestly, that one's still up for grabs. Be good to watch her down the stretch here, see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be time. We got some tight ones. I got some tight ones there with the Astros. That's tight, like you said, and the Rays. They got 5.5 over the Yankees, but with them, you never know about the Yankees. They might be able to pick up, find something else there late in the year to get it going. But they're all close, and we'll have to kind of keep an eye on this to see who can kind of jump up and prove how good they really are. So we'll do a little teams to watch. I'll start there with the AL. I want to say the White Sox and the Rays. So those are my 2 teams that I'd like to see lock in their division. It'd be cool to see them make a run at it. Some teams that aren't as well known, maybe, to see them jump in there and show what they got. Now, go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say. I guess I'm curious to see what the Yankees can do here if they can reel back in Tampa Bay. They should be better. They've obviously, Judge is out and all that, but I saw something today that said he might not be back for another month. So I don't know. I guess rib injury, something like that. I hate that we didn't get more wins over them this weekend with them not being on the field, but kind of curious to watch that. You know, Astros, Rangers. I hate the Astros. They're a bunch of cheaters. They got the ugliest uniforms in baseball. So if they could get beat by the Rangers, they got a half game on them. So hopefully they'll choke that one away. Really sad. Just kind of update on their division. The Athletics back there, 12.5 behind. They look so good to start the year. They did pretty good to the first half, and then they've just absolutely fallen apart. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, I mean that's about it for the AL. I think for me the thing that I watch here coming the line is what do the Yankees and Devil Rays do? You know, the Devil Rays, the Rays, excuse me, do there. That's kind of what I want to see.
I like that. And then for the NL, give me the Brewers and the Braves. That's going to be a cool matchup. Hopefully, they get to play here in a couple of months in the playoffs. It'll be a pretty cool matchup there. Brewers may be one of the top teams in the National League. I think. And, they got a great record and they got a lot of great players, so it could go through them. And then you got the Braves, who are, I think, are getting hot as of now, and they're getting the wins. They got, they kind of get back kind of where they want to be there. So I feel like as a team wise, I feel like they're starting to kind of come together and get hot at the right time. And I say the Braves will take care of it, and I say they're going to probably win the East. I think, or they're going to win the East for sure. And which wasn't my thought early on in the year here on the show, but that was an early thought. And from what I've seen, just as a fan of the Braves, I like it, and I think they're going to keep it going there and win the East. I think, Casper.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think for me, the biggest thing, obviously, I mean, the Brewers are the best team in baseball right now. I think it's interesting. You know, the Braves spent some time with most wins, and you had the Dodgers up there with most wins, and now you got the Brewers up there. So, good battle all across. I think all three of those teams are pretty solid. And then the Cubs, like I don't know, man. They might get it done. I think they got a 6 game lead, so in the wild card, so they're in, and I mean they could win for the wild card spot. I mean, they're not a bad baseball team either. So I'm definitely curious to see what happens there. And, the biggest thing for the Braves is, I know it sounds dumb. I know we have an 8.5 game lead right now, but I do get nervous about the Phillies. Like, they haven't been great either lately. They got, they had that little resurgence for a minute, and they've kind of fallen back apart a little bit. But looking forward to those games coming. We got some good series. Like I said, we got the Brewers. That's big time. Go up there, play. The Dodgers, I think the Dodgers come to town this time because we went up there early in the year. So the Dodgers coming to town here in a couple of weeks. So, those series right there are big time, and we'll kind of find out who's got what. And, your team is what it is at this point pretty much. So, one thing I really liked last week about the Braves, I don't know how much you watch, but Acuna, back out there hitting the ball, I really like him batting second. Because Baldwin gets on base a lot, and Acuna's power is good to have somebody on base ahead of him. He's not feeling like he was, he don't quite got it like he did, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So I really like the lineup, and what I like about the Braves is the lineup has got back to that point where it's like, I mean, at this point, Riley is not necessarily going to hit the ball, but other than that, like they're looking pretty good, and Lane Thomas and everybody getting worked in. So I think the Braves look pretty solid. A lot of people are still kind of thinking they don't have the pitching. The pitching can be shaky. I got nervous last week about Iglesias. We did the 8 game win streak, and we were winning so much. He wasn't throwing all that much, and he had a bad game last week, and then he had another bad game. So it was good for him yesterday. I think in the 10 inning win, I believe he got the win technically. So works out good for him on that, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. The Braves, like I said, they look pretty solid. So I've liked everything I've seen. I think that 17 games really, really helped, and really want to take that series against the Yankees. That was not a fun one, and I just hope they use that as fuel here when they come up to these other big series, like we said, with the Brewers and the Dodgers coming up.
Yeah, if they can come out and play some good baseball here in the next couple of weeks, months, it'd be cool to see as a fan. Got anything else there for a baseball, Casper?
No, I guess that's about it. I guess, the one thing too we got to point out here is like we're playing the Mets, I think, starting tonight. It's either tonight or tomorrow. I think it's tonight in little series there. And like they're out. But so where we're up at the top, you're gonna start getting these teams the best shot. Like they're like, well, we're done, but can we ruin somebody else's? And sometimes you see, like, you gotta watch out. You can't go lose these games. You gotta beat these teams you're supposed to beat now. And it's the Mets. You never know what's gonna happen. They're down, but they could come to Atlanta and win 3. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a good take on that. The Mets are a team to definitely watch for a upset alert or whatnot. They can get our plans messed up if they really want to. They can put us in a
Yeah.
bad spot. So if we can just win two or three or whatnot, and just keep getting each series win as a fan, that's what I want to see is us win the series, and it's what we've been doing a pretty good job of last little bit. So that's what just keep consistency going and just keep winning ball games. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah.
All right, that will put us into some college football preseason rankings right here on Sport Talk. There's all kind of different rankings out there, but Tennessee was 18th in the one that I saw. I thought that was about maybe what I was expecting. That's about what they are usually. It seems like in between that maybe that 12 to 18. That's about where they are preseason. Preseason rankings don't mean a whole lot in my opinion. A lot can change, and you really see where these teams and players are at. 9 teams there for that conference, so a bunch of teams there, but Tennessee and others were all ranked there for the. It's definitely a pretty cool deal there to see those teams in the rankings there. So I like that to see that. Some teams that I thought were a little bit overrated there for SEC, maybe Ole Miss. They're at 10, and then Michigan's my other team that's a little bit. I think with the new coach and whatnot. So Michigan's, we'll see. Maybe they come out with the new coach year one fired up. We'll have to kind of see how that goes there on that, Casper.
Yeah, I really like your points about Michigan. I like what do we got going on here? They don't even know what they have really on the team. They haven't done anything. Same thing with Ole Miss. Like big question mark. One thing I went back and listened to our show from last week, and I think Ole Miss might be the biggest question mark in the SEC. Like, yeah, we got Golding, but like, did we really want him? No, not really. But we had him, so we kept him, and like we did okay. So we're gonna see what he's got. But like, does he actually have it? We don't know. It's kind of untested, unproven, all that kind of stuff. So I'm really curious to see what happens there. Did you happen to see him and him talking about like him and Lane Kiffin still like text and are like borderline friends and like kind of talk? Yeah, it's kind of weird. Weird.
Yeah.
He was talking about that at his press conference. That was kind of weird. But the good point on Ole Miss. The ones that I see, Clemson in the top 25. I just don't. I'm sorry. Dabo's terrible. Now, my Tar Heels are probably going to win one game this year, and they have a chance to beat Clemson if they play. I don't know if they do, but they probably got a chance. So I don't know what they're doing there. It's just like Dabo, he ain't got it, dog. He don't have it. I don't know why we're pretending that he does. And then the other one too for me, Missouri. I just don't. They got him at 25th, and I know that we're talking about 25th, but I'm just like, no, I don't think so. As far as Tennessee goes, I feel like that's might be better than fair for what we should actually do based off what we've got. Same thing. We don't have a quarterback. We don't know what the defense is going to look like. A lot of question marks in Tennessee, too. So I think 18th is honestly pretty nice for us. I don't know that I thought we would be that high. But when you start doing head-to-heads on the top 25, you're like, yeah, probably. So I don't know. We got Georgia up there as the top SEC team over Texas, which I thought they earned it, but on paper, like Texas should be better than Georgia. I don't know. We got the old big losers up there, Ohio State and Oregon. They're just up there doing their thing. So this is the year that the SEC sucks, and we're going to do what we need to do. So let's play the underdog to the Big Ten. We're terrible. SEC's garbage. Big Ten's great, and we'll see what happens at the end of the year. I think we should just roll with that little bit of underdog mentality and find out what happens. I do not want to see Ohio State win a championship, but they are. I mean, they're good. So, but at this point, I'd probably pull for Georgia over Ohio State. Like that's how I mean, Ohio State is climbing the list of teams that I hate. Like they're up there with Alabama, and all that. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The SEC beats itself up too. Top to bottom. Like I said last week, I would still like to see that matchup. So. There's a lot of SEC teams out of 25. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, it's packed full of those teams. And as I saw them, I was like, man, there's a bunch of them in there. So it's ACC only got 3. So it's a little fun fact there for all the ACC listeners out there. We got 3. So I thought there'd be more than that in there.
One other thing. So Indiana just won a national championship, just for the record, right? And they're 6th. Like I mean, I know they lost some people, but like, I don't know. And then we put Miami in at 7th. Like, what? I mean, and Notre Dame in fifth, like what? Like I kind of hate these polls. Like sometimes
Yeah.
we just give teams with a name like more than maybe they should be. I don't know. Like I think you put Oklahoma against Notre Dame. Like Oklahoma's going to beat Notre Dame. I really believe that. I'm pretty sure that Ole Miss would beat Notre Dame. I don't know. I don't. That's my biggest thing to do with these top 25s is try to like, okay, no, they would beat them. Like, yeah, that's fair to say that. So, I don't know. I'm curious to watch as the year goes, but for Tennessee, I'm happy with 18th. Not too high expectations, also not too low expectations. I think that's about right. I wish we would have been like 25th or 26th out of the poll, honestly, because I would like to be the underdog and just show up out of nowhere. But we'll see what happens. Looking forward to football, man. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, we're just a few weeks away, and I got some big games there early on at Tennessee playing Georgia Tech there early on. So then get to really see how good these teams really are as they get to play some tougher teams, and then we'll see if this preseason rankings were all talk or if it was really if they can back it up. So
Yeah.
won't be long. Won't be
Knoxville inside scoop.
Yeah.
There are some old heads that do not want to see Fazion and Brandon start for Tennessee against Furman for some reason. I don't understand what y'all's mindset is. This is not 2000. Like you pay these guys too much money to sit them on the bench. Their heads are too big. They got too much Instagram. They got too much TikTok. They got too much Facebook. You have got to play them, and they have to figure it out. And yeah, maybe he ain't gonna be good, but you've got to play him. I'm sorry, you pay these guys too much money to not put them on the football field. So it's cute and everything, but at the end of the day, I really think he's got a higher ceiling. So I still expect to see Fazion on the field, play number one.
Play number one. You heard it right here. That's who's going to be on the field for Tennessee. All right, we're going to shift into some NFL news right quick. Little Haynes King for all my Georgia Tech listeners out there. He put on a complete show in the Hall of Fame game. Comes in there undrafted player out of Tech, goes out to the Panthers. He went 21 for a 34 and 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he got the ball there late in the game and took it down the field and scored the game-winning touchdown on his feet. He kind of put the ball out across the goal line, but he pulled his hamstring on the final play of the game, so he is now week to week. They ended up signing another player, so Kyle Trask has been signed there for the Panthers as their training camp quarterback, backup, whatever you want to call him for the next little bit. So Haynes King is week to week. So as a Georgia Tech fan, I really want to see Haynes get a second chance. I hope his hamstring doesn't mess him up. I hate when I see these players get hurt and it affect some playing time that they're at least early on here in these games. But I think he'd be a good backup if they can just kind of stick with him. But with the NFL, he's not going to get much love going undrafted. So it was just cool to see just the team kind of get behind him and really support him and be happy for him to make all those big plays to score a touchdown. And I saw some of the highlights of this here, Casper, and it was really cool to see. But the biggest thing is my big take on this: you cannot run the ball a lot in the NFL. You're going to get knocked out. You got knocked out in college, and I don't say you got knocked out in the NFL, but he got an injury and. You got to be able to sit back in that pocket and you got to throw the ball. You can run some, but you got to be smart there. You can't be running the ball too much. But I get it. Undrafted player, you're gonna go for it. And he went for it and scored a touchdown to win the game. So that was really cool to see there, Casper.
Yeah, it's a good little story. I mean, my thing about Haynes King, first of all, obviously, I mean, he's really good. He got beat up, I feel like, last year. I feel like that was kind of y'all's demise. He just got beat up as the year went and struggled. And my buddy went to a game and he it went sideways on him pretty quick down there in Atlanta. But I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I feel like he's got that dog in him a little bit. Like, he seems like he works hard, good dude. I feel like he'd be a really good backup and potentially could be one of those guys that ends up, playing a few games a year, maybe even for different teams, kind of like Josh Dobbs or something like that. Just because he's got that dog in him. Seems like he puts in the work. He's not afraid to take a hit. And you're right, though. I don't know if that's going to be a good. I don't know that he's like starting quarterback, but you never know. Maybe he'll try a tight end out. You never know. Maybe he's learned to punt.
Okay.
I don't know.
Find some kind of
I hope he ends up somewhere though. I would like to see him somewhere. And also, I just like to point out that he is playing with somebody, and Diego Pavia is not. So at least we got that going for us.
There we go. He was on the field and Diego was not.
That's right.
Oh man. All right. We're going to do a little North South 100 talk and then we'll go into the NASCAR. But this North South 100 there, Casper, it is a awesome race. I've been there once before to the Florence Speedway there in Florence, Kentucky, almost Cincinnati. We went up there a couple years back. It is a racy place. You can run the top, you run the bottom, you throw you a slide job. So Jonathan Davenport, that was at lap, early on, he threw a slider to Bronson. It depends what kind of fan you are, if you thought it was clean or not, or if Bronson just kind of ran into him. So when I saw him spinning, I caught the end of this race there, and I saw him spinning out. I thought his night was maybe done, but he jumps back out there, Casper, and walk us through the end of that race there, Casper.
Yeah, man. So first of all, let's back up a little bit. So Florence, first of all, me and you've been trying to go this North-South race. I feel like it's been on our list of things to do for a long time, and I feel like after watching this one, it's just going to have to go higher up the list. And tickets are going to be hard to get. Absolutely sold out place. There's nothing in Florence, Kentucky other than this racetrack. Awesome crowd, great grandstands, great atmosphere. As a fan for a race, nothing better you can go to. But this is a long race. This is a 100-lap race. We don't have a lot of 100-lap races and on a flat track. And it just races really good. You end up getting two lines, a top and a bottom. These guys get to work each other. There was like 14 million caution flags. We're talking 18-second laps. Somehow this race took an hour and 51 minutes and 27 seconds, I want to say, to run for 100 laps, that's a long time for a dirt late model race. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the race there, Josh Rice, the local Kentucky boy that everybody loves and all this stuff, who Davenport also kind of ran over, but we're not going to talk about that. Ends up getting the lead. Davenport was running him down there at the end of that race. I don't know if you stayed up for the end. It was late, so it's probably past your bedtime. But anyways, I'm sure you saw the highlights. But Davenport's running down, and honestly, Davenport threw some sliders on him. They traded it there for like the last two laps, and Davenport had a run taking the white coming down the front stretch, and he could have dumped Josh Rice. I just calling it like I see it. Rice pulled down, kind of blocked. He came off the wall. Davenport was going low, and then Davenport ended up lifting and going high. He did pick Rice up off the ground pretty good there, but he did back off of him and let him make his turn. But I'm telling you, dude, for $75K, I'd have dumped him. But if that place, I've never seen that many people at a dirt track come up and cheer and scream. It was almost like Carson Hostmore won at Talladega, just on a smaller scale. Everybody was about it, and I wanted him to dump him. I'll just be honest. I did. I'm not. That race did not make me like Josh Rice anymore. Like, he's all right, but I don't know. I'm kind of on Josh Rice. But yeah, it was a really good race. Josh Rice ends up winning. Davenport did slide him in the last corner, and just Rice got a better run off the corner. They both kind of messed 3 and 4. The thing that's awesome about that track is that, like, you just missed the wall, and so you just hit the wall, and then you turn off the wall, and it's like hitting a spring. It just slings you down front stretch. So really cool race, really emotional win for Josh Rice there. Didn't love the interview, just to be honest with you. It was a little much. He was clearly in shock, which was really cool. I don't know. It was too long of an interview. I mean, I know you didn't stay up, but it was just too long of an interview. But he did get some 4-letter words in there. Not quite Brandon Overton style, but he got a few 4-letter words in. And it was just, couldn't believe he's there. And it's always good to see a local guy who grew up dreaming of winning, one race at that track. And it's really cool that they have a big race there and they still have it. Around here, we don't have tracks that have that big name race. They're working on it at Smoky Mountain, on having a historic race, Mountain Moonshine Classic and all that stuff. But we just haven't had a long running big race in Tennessee. So that's kind of the closest one to us. And it's cool, but I don't know, man. It was a great race. It's the kind of race that when people say they don't like racing, which I know half people at the show don't like racing, but this is the kind of race that I would want to take you to. This is one of those races. People ask, why do you go watch people make left turns? You go back, watch people make left turns, and you watch races that are meh for a year. You go to 20, you go to 15, you go to 30, whatever, and then you find this one, and then all of them that were boring are worth it. It's electric whenever it gets wild like that, and everybody gets into it. The crowd gets into it. And guys are passing each other every lap. So, really good race. But I was pumped up. I really was pissed I did not go because I thought about going. wife's close to having a baby. It would be bad if I was in Union, Kentucky, and she was in labor, so I did not go. But we're gonna have to add that one to the needs to happen list here pretty soon.
Yeah, that place is it's a it's an awesome track, kind of like you said, and slide jobs here and there, and I would like to see JD get the win, and I want to see him win it cleanly, but for 75K, I'd probably wreck. I'd take care of whoever I need to take care of. I probably want to, but you don't want to take anybody out, but you want to see your driver win. JD's been kind of hit and miss this year, and just as a sports fan or as a race fan, it's definitely a top track. I'd say give it top 3 around for sure, and you get guys from all the different tours are going to all come together for that one night, for that weekend, and it's really cool. Really cool event. All right, that will put us in. Go ahead.
Only other thing, shout out Garrett Albertson, get better soon. Dude took like a rock or something to the face, terrible. Broke his helmet, broke his face mask. He broke bones in his face. He got a cut on his face. Glad he did not, have something worse than that. I got scared. They cut it to TV. Like they don't cut races away from. They don't cut away from races because of wrecks often. It's not good when they do usually. So I'm really glad that he's okay, and wish him a speedy recovery with that too.
There we go. All right, that will put us into some NASCAR at Iowa. Ty Gibbs gets his second win of the season. I'm not a big Ty guy, but he's gotten his cars faster, and that's really going to help him into the chase as that's coming up very soon. That track's getting a fresh pave job next year, so he's getting a repave here coming up, starting as of now. It sounds like so that's underway for next season. That will be a July 4th weekend race there in Iowa. They got the switch, this change of the schedules on that. There's been some changes. Bristol's going back to August their next season. I like it. I like how it's before the chase. I think it's going to be good. Kind of gets it out of September and gets into August. So it's going to be a little bit warmer, but as a fan, I like that. There's been some different changes there. So we're going to talk real quick. We'll talk about some of the chase names coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I will be at the race there in a couple of weeks at Daytona. I will be at the cutoff race. I believe that's the cutoff race. Yeah. Okay, So I will be there on that. So what are some drivers there, Casper, you think will get in there late?
So it's kind of gotten boring here because Logano got in, Cindric's in. Cindric's right on the line. I don't know. Ross Chastain and Brad Keselowski are probably the two that are out that you would think maybe would get in. Shane Van Gisbergen, Bubba Wallace. Those are the ones that's like, maybe. But going to short track, really, Ryan Preece is the one on the cut line. But after watching what they did at Iowa, I don't think he's going to do much coming up here. They've got New Hampshire and New Hampshire and Richmond, then Daytona. So it's Richmond, then New Hampshire. I'm sorry. I don't know. Based off what I saw, those are pretty much the same track we just raced on. He was terrible, so I don't see them doing too well. But I think Ross Chastain's the one to watch. He looked pretty good. Seems to be one of those guys just can figure it out when he has to get paid. So that's kind of the one that I would watch. He's currently 50 points out though. Like that's a lot. But if you win, if you get some stage points now with how we do the points, he's got a chance. So that's the one that I would watch. I think, SVG holding his ground here. He's in 15th right now. It's kind of a big story to watch. Can he do that or not? Because I think we'd all like to see him in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, it'd be cool to see him. Excuse me. Got to get in there. It's going to be tough on these next few weeks there for him. I think some tracks that maybe he's not going to be the best at, but if he can claw around and hang in there, it'd be cool to see him. He's just a cool dude, I think. Just how he races and whatnot. He's got a cool backstory to him.
Oh yeah. Hendrick was terrible. Hendrick was terrible. Yeah. It's not fun. This must be what it's felt like to be a Ford fan or Toyota fan for the last 10 years. But God,
Larson got in a mess there. Chase had his deals there on pit road. So I mean, it was not a good day for Hendrick.
Yeah, not a good.
All
day.
Right, that will put us into some picks of. Let's go over last week real quick. Was the score? So now it's 22-19. There, Casper got the win. Last week, got all three of his correct. So he's catching up to me there, 22-19 for those who watch the show. That will put us into this week. I get to go first since I did not get the win last week. So give me the Titans at the 49ers preseason game. Give me the Titans on that one. And then give me the Mets at the Braves on Tuesday. Give me the Braves to get the win there. And then a WNBA get the dream at the Sun. Give me the dream there Saturday to get the win there. And for the NASCAR at Richmond, Austin Dillon, I think he ain't that great. He ain't for me, but he is the man at Richmond. So I think he's gonna get his Casper's got the shirt on. He's representing. Austin Dillon ain't for me, but he's gonna get the win Saturday night at Richmond. Go ahead, Casper.
Yeah, I like that pick. I was going to pick him, but you stole him. Yeah, my picks. Oh, let me find them here. I've got the Dodgers over the Royals on Wednesday, Braves over the Diamondbacks on Friday because they don't lose in red, and the Liberty over the Suns on Saturday or whoever they're playing. I think it was the Suns. I did not put it in here apparently, but whoever they're playing, I'm trying to mix it up. WNBA for the win. NASCAR at Richmond, going back to the basics. Denny Hamlin, short track, Virginia. I'll take Denny Hamlin. Austin Dillon can't get it done. I would really like to see Austin Dillon or Austin Hill win this race and get some kind of a Kyle Busch tribute from RCR. This is pretty much this and Daytona and Talladega. They're only shots for the rest of the year. So I'd really like to see them get something done for that. Just because that's important to me. But yeah, Dennis Hamlin, there's your winner, guaranteed.
Yeah, I like it. He runs. It's a good pick because he runs really good up there. All right, one last thought I'll get to go first. This is for you, Casper. I hope all goes well as you'll be off the next couple of weeks. I don't have any kids. So I don't really have any good advice for you, but hope all goes well with all that takes place over that for the next couple of weeks. So hope let me know how all that goes there as all that starts to progress. So hope congrats on all that and hope all that goes well. That's my one last thought was hopefully all goes well for you there, Casper. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you on that one. My one last thought is going to be Major League Baseball. People were tossing around the idea of making a midseason champion in Major League Baseball, similar to how they do in the minor leagues. That is not going to work. It's a terrible idea because at the end of the day, the reason that works in the minor leagues is these guys are playing to get to the next level, so they have to play all year. If you have teams that win the first half and they would somehow get locked in the playoffs, that is not going to work because – they're not going to carry the second half. It's going to get really weird. So I just don't see how that's going to work out. If you're locked in, you're probably resting guys, and it wouldn't be any fun. So you morons on ESPN, they're throwing that around. The answer is no. I know the NBA has a midseason championship. You've got all these sports looking at midseason championships, whether it's in-season tournaments now in college basketball. NASCAR has an in-season thing. Like it's just baseball is not the one. Baseball is an everyday grinded out club sport. Play it that way. Otherwise, it's going to lose its luster. Don't touch it. Baseball is good how it is.
I like it. That's a good one. Last thought. We're about out of time, so I'm going to close it down. Thanks for being tuned in. Like, share, and subscribe to it on the YouTube. Find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can follow us on Facebook for all your reels and pictures. And all you need to know right there on the Facebook page. If you got any family, you can put it in the comments below. Thanks for coming on, Casper. And with that being said, I'm going to wave the flag and say, see you in the next one.